Cheers. Tom Silvius at tomsilvius.com. Cheers. Put it away for a while. This is the mighty yak. This is the reason why I live and die. This is Yakula. He's a full-blooded Tibetan Terrier. He's extremely rare. He was bred for breeding stock. Unfortunately, he's the best-looking Tibetan Terrier in the world. The breed center is 30 pounds. He happens to be 42 pounds. He didn't make it. Life happens like that. I want to talk to you about sitemaps now that Yak's through bothering us. I've gone through a lot of sitemap generators, and then I've looked at what Google wants. And the simple fact is, it's a lot like structured data or rich snippets. It's hand-coded stuff. I don't want to disappoint you. I've tried to load it, whatever. Sitemaps do not, I've not found a sitemap in this world that has been able to read structured data. So in essence, reads a tag. And I just went through video, which is extremely disappointing. What Google wants, and it's the most ridiculous thing in the entire world, they own, I mean, they bought, and they've paid over $1 billion for YouTube. And YouTube basically has decided that HTML5 for them, they will use an iframe. Well, of course, iframe is a window or another web site within your own window. So what that means is they can't screen scrape it. So in essence, the most powerful advertising media in the world, HTML5 solutions, Google cannot in fact work with. So what they have come back with is, let's just use object and embed. Well, object and embed, guess what, folks? You give it a driver, and the driver usually comes out to be Flash. Well, isn't that wonderful? And Flash has no future because, in fact, it does not work with mobile. These guys are worth billions of dollars, and they can't figure that out, and they can't get their minions to work with themselves. And they get guys like Matt Cutts to come on and say that all is well. All is not well. This is why I keep going on my rants and keep saying that these guys like Matt Cutts and the hot Asian babes sit there and go calmly and say that all is well. It's not. Let me give you some workarounds, okay? First of all, let's go to HTML5, which is the video tag. And what the video tag does very calmly is that you give an MP4 file that you serve, and then you give a couple other files for Firefox, whatever, give some defaults, and then all of a sudden you default and say, we ain't got none. And all of a sudden, you've got a HTML5, and guess what? It all works out, and you can quite calmly serve all this stuff. However, there are very few tags. It only gives a title tag. It's not to a description tag. So in essence, the guess what? The sitemap creator cannot read a damn thing for the fact that the video tag does not have enough descriptors. This does not sound unique. This is the world that Google created. So I have in essence created all the structured data. I have in essence hand-coded this stuff, and if I go the other way, and if I use object and embed, then of course I'm not visible to mobile, which is the most ridiculous thing in the world, because guess where the future is. So let's go for some solutions, and the solution is to take the sitemap, run through your wonderful solution, and then go through and modify it and hand code it. I'm sorry, that's the way that it is. Also, by the way, there's some other things involved. You can never tell anything as far as a sitemap, as far as your tags, as far as the category, and as far as extraordinary information that Google does want. So in essence, your sitemaps for videos are in fact hand-coded. Now I'm going to give you some really bad news. If you want to get some ranking with images, guess what? You're going to hand-code them. I'm sorry. This is the way that it is. When 20 years ago, when we were doing Oracle and we were optimizing like mad, and the fact is that the wonderful machines said that they were optimizing and they weren't ever, and we were paying the minions to do this, and they wanted people like me to write code to solve their problems. We told them to type. And at this point, tell you juniors to type. This is it. I'm very sorry. Get very mad at Google. Get very mad at the vendors, but don't get mad at me. It is a fact that you gotta hand code every goddamn line in order to get some sort